and on this week's edition of the BLAST Newscast.
As we celebrate Valentine's Day, we often ask ourselves about love and its various types of meanings. As we go about this special holiday, we are going to answer the familiar question, what is love? I'm Tabitha Freyholtz, and we'll have that story coming up.
Temperatures and snowy conditions are in the air for this week. I'm Levi Bennington, and I'll have further details on this week's weather forecast.
Those stories and a whole lot more can be seen on this week's edition of the BLAST Newscast.
For the week of February the 12th, 2013.
And now, coming to you live from our studios in Sharpsville, Indiana, Rachel Keller and Jacob Pyle.
Thank you, Chris Henry. Hello, and welcome to the BLAST Newscast. I'm Jacob Pyle.
And I'm Rachel Keller. Today is Valentine's Day. And what would you expect Valentine's Day would mean? It would mean the celebration of love. Valentine's Day is basically a time when people would exchange valentines, or would go through great lengths to show how one person loves another. Some might say if you want to impress a girl, this might be a good time to do it.
We are going to talk about something important to all of you about Valentine's Day, and more importantly, the question that everybody asks, what is love? And in general, we are going to explain what love means, because sometimes people often confuse love and their different meanings or different kinds of gratitude. So here's a look at what love means to all of us. Is BLAST Newscast reporter Tabitha Freyholtz.
Thank you, Jacob. What is love? That is a question that often answers itself in many ways and many different meanings. The simplest meaning would have to be showing gratitude to another person. But there are two different kinds of love that can be confusing at first. But by the end of this report, you will know the difference. First, let's talk about impersonal love. A person can be said to love an object, principle, or goal if they value it greatly and are deeply committed to it. Similarly, compassionate outreach and strong spiritual or political convictions. People can also love material objects, animals, or activities if they invest themselves in bonding or otherwise identifying those things. Then they are in interpersonal love. Interpersonal love refers to love between human beings. It is more poet's sentiment than a simple liking for another. Unrecruited love refers to those feeling of love that are not recorporated. Interpersonal love is most closely associated with interpersonal relationships. Such love might exist between family, members, friends, and couples. There are also a number of psychological disorders related to love, such as erotomania. Throughout history, philosophy and religion have done the most speculations on the phenomenon of love. It is the last century. The science of physiology has written a great deal of the subject. In recent years, the science of philology, anthropology, neuroscience, and biology have added to the understanding of nature and function of love. So in a sense, there you have an explanation of the two different types of love, interpersonal and impersonal. So there you have right. They're the two important meanings of the word love. Love can be expressed in one of these two. And Valentine's Day, people express love through cards, valentines, flowers, and even chocolate. Hope all of you have a happy Valentine's Day. For the BLAST Newscast, I'm Tabitha Freyholtz.
Thanks, Tabby, for the report. Another difference that I wanted to share with you is the difference between a girlfriend and a girl best friend. Guys often have girl best friends. You know something? I have girl best friends, but never actually had a girlfriend. Weird, ain't it? And there are reasons as to why that's the case. Some girls are already going out with another boyfriend, or a girl would rather keep their relationship as just best friends. So always think of that in mind when you think of love too. So sometimes, depending on how you share love with another person, may depend on what type of girl you're looking for. So that's just something to keep in mind as well. Now with a look at our other headlines, our main news today is BLAST Newscast headline reporter J.R. Clifton.
Thank you, Jacob. Hello, everyone. Here's our headlines for this week. On February 19th, Team BLAST is going to have its second annual Appreciation Day dessert banquet. Make sure that all of you know what you'll be doing for the show. Wear nice clothes and bring a dessert with you. Help us out in showing our gratitude and appreciation to everyone for their hard work and making Team BLAST possible for us each week. Team BLAST is going to go roller skating at Hoosierland Roller Rink in Frankfurt on March 26th. It'll cost $10, but that'll cover 2 hours of roller skating, Papa John's pizza, and tons of fun. Be ready and be set for lots of fun. On April 5th, Team BLAST will be leaving for Muncie, Indiana for Acquire the Fire 2013. The cost is $45. We'll be leaving on the 5th after school and will be there part of that Friday and all day Saturday. Spots will be limited, so if interested, talk to Kendra or Desi because it will be first come, first serve. And finally, a reminder for those who are planning on going to Big Stuff Church Camp that we officially have 30 people down for going to Big Stuff Church Camp in Panama City Beach, Florida. So, if you are planning on going to Big Stuff Church Camp, that the $50 deposit needs to be put in before camp is full. So, put your money in right away and help us in raising up enough money for Big Stuff Church Camp. Those are our headlines for this week. I'll be back at the end of the newscast for a preview of what you will see on next week's edition, but for now, I'm J.R. Clifton.
Thank you, JR. And now it's time for our weather with our rain or shine weatherman, Levi Bennington.
Thank you, Rachel. Hello, everybody. We've been experiencing snow, and more snow this past weekend, but temperatures are going to start warming back up as we reach the end of this week. Although the temperatures aren't going to be as warm as you think, at least it's not going to be as cold as these next couple of days as planned. So, my forecast for today calls for a 75% chance of scattered flurries with a high of 34 degrees and a low of 13 degrees. Tomorrow, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 31 degrees and a low of 23 degrees. I'm Levi Bennington, and that's today's weather.
The BLAST Newscast now has its own official website. It's at www.blastnewscast.weebly.com. Here you will find current episodes of the BLAST Newscast, catch up with past episodes of the newscast, get to know the people who make the BLAST Newscast possible, and even drop us a line with your questions, comments, suggestions, or ideas. As I said, it's all here at www.blastnewscast.weebly.com. That's www.blastnewscast.weebly.com. See you there.
And now, here's Team BLAST's own Jacob Pyle.
Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart. For me, nobody but me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. For me. Now, I don't mean to bother you, but I'm in distress. There's danger of me losing all of my happiness. For I love a girl who doesn't know I exist, and this you can fix. So, Cupid, draw back your bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart. For me, nobody but me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. For me. So now, Cupid, if your arrow makes a love storm for me, I promise I will have her until eternity. I know between the two of us her heart we can steal. So help me if you will. So, Cupid, Draw back the bow and let your arrow go straight to my lover's heart. For me, nobody but me. Cupid, please hear my cry and let your arrow fly straight to my lover's heart. For me. Now, Cupid, don't you hear me calling you? I need you, Cupid. Help me, I need you now. Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day. Hey, Mr. No Name. Yes? Why did the stupid boy put clothes on the valentines he was setting? I don't know. Why did the stupid boy put clothes on the valentines he was sending? Simple. Because they needed to be addressed. Addressed. Get addressed.
Hey, looking for something to do on a weekday afternoon? Come up and join us for Team Blast. Our address is 210 South Main Street here in Sharpsville, Indiana, 46068. Anyone 6th grade or older is welcome. We're open after school on Mondays and Wednesdays through Friday from 3 to 6, and Tuesdays from 3 to 9, with Tuesday service from 6:30 to 8:30. Come join us, won't you?
Before we leave, I have 3 new members of the BLAST Newscast team that I would like to introduce to all of you. Starting this week, Rachel Keller here is going to be our new co-anchor, you see. She's going to be taking over permanently for Katie Fogenhauer. By the way, I would like to thank the BLAST Newscast reporters for temporarily covering for Katie until I was able to find somebody new. Also, we have 2 new BLAST Newscast reporters that I would like to introduce you to. This is Tony White and Brian Bookout. All right. So yeah, welcome to our BLAST Newscast team, all of you. And now with a look at what you'll be seeing on next week's newscast is BLAST Newscast headline reporter J.R. Clifton.
Thanks, Jacob. On next week's edition of the BLAST Newscast, we are going to have part 1 of a 3-part special report on Appreciation Day. In part 1, our special report, take a look at how Team BLAST gets ready for Appreciation Day, plus an explanation on what Appreciation Day means for Team BLAST. Watch as we present part 1 of our special report as Team BLAST celebrates Appreciation Day. That's coming up on next week's edition of the BLAST Newscast. I'm J.R. Clifton, and we'll see you then.
Thank you, JR. and with that will be it for this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel Keller.
And I'm Jacob Pyle. Until next week, good night, and God bless my friends.
This is Chris Henry speaking for the BLAST Newscast. This program has been pre-recorded.